Welcome to the Explainer. All right, today we are diving deep into a skill that is becoming absolutely critical: how to talk to AI. See, there's a huge difference between just, using it and really making it do exactly what you want. So, you probably think prompting is just, I don't know, typing a sentence and hitting enter, right? Well, according to Varun Maya, that's precisely the problem. For most of us, our whole approach is fundamentally flawed, and it's why we get such generic, uninspired, and let's be honest, kind of boring results. So, what's the secret? It's not about finding some, magic password or secret command. It is a complete shift in how you think about it. The people who are getting amazing results, they're not just giving orders. They're literally creating entire, detailed worlds for the AI to inhabit and think from. All right, so let's get into the core idea here, because this is what changes everything. You've got to stop thinking about it as asking for something and start thinking about it as creating something. It's all about this idea of world building. Here's a good way to think about it. You're not just barking a command at the AI. No, you're handing it a box full of puzzle pieces. The context, the rules, some examples, and you're letting it assemble the exact picture that's in your head. And this little analogy, it's a perfect mirror for how an AI actually thinks. When I gave you those clues, dry, sand mountains, warring clans, your brain didn't just invent something out of thin air. Nope, it scanned everything it knows, instantly landed on the movie Dune, and pulled out a sandworm. Right? That is exactly how AI works. You give it the world, you give it the clues, and it connects those dots to its massive database of training data. So here's the big takeaway, the thing you really need to remember. Lazy prompts get you lazy, generic results. It's that simple. If you don't bother to build a unique world for it, the AI is just going to default to the most boring, common, average world it knows about. And that right there is why so much AI-generated content feels so samey. Okay, so theory is great, but how do we actually do this? Let's look at how this whole world-building idea turns into real, practical techniques you can use like today to get way better results. And man, this slide just shows you the difference in black and white. On the one hand, give me 5 video ideas. You're going to get 5 super bland, forgettable ideas. But look at the world-built prompt. It's not a question. It's a creative brief. You're telling it to act as a YouTube scriptwriter. You're defining the audience. You're giving it a style guide, and you're setting the tone. See? You're not just asking for a list. You're basically commissioning a project from a specialist that you just invented out of thin air. And this world-building thing, it's not just for creative stuff. It's a total superpower for research. Instead of asking a simple question, tell the AI to unpack an entire system for you. Like, ask it to break down the entire $100 million budget of a big-time video game. You won't just get a list of numbers. You'll get these crazy insights like, wow, marketing can cost 3 times more than actually making the game? That's a huge revelation. Okay, want to get really next level with this? Let's talk about something called metaprompting. This is just brilliant. It's where you use one AI to write a better, more detailed prompt for another AI. You build out your entire complex world with ChatGPT, and then you ask ChatGPT to translate that whole vision into the perfect, super technical prompt that an image generator like Midjourney will understand perfectly. Personas, this is another ridiculously powerful tool in your toolkit. You can literally tell the AI to explain anything at any level of complexity you want. So you could say, hey, explain Faraday's law to me like I'm a 5-year-old, and you'll get a simple analogy. Then, in the very next prompt, you can say, okay, now give me the full university physics student breakdown with all the complex math, and it'll do it instantly. It's like having this personal tutor who can just switch their teaching style on a dime to match whatever you need. Okay, so we've talked a lot about getting better stuff from the AI, but what if the real game changer here is using AI to get better inputs from ourselves? This is where things get really interesting. Prompting stops being just a technical skill and starts becoming a tool for personal growth, a way to actually make us smarter. And that brings us to this really fascinating idea. See, every single time you build one of these worlds for the AI, you're using your own knowledge as the raw material. So, what if the most powerful thing this AI can do isn't giving you answers, but showing you where the pieces are missing in your own knowledge? What if it can help you find the absolute edges of your own understanding? And there's a really simple way to do this. After you've had a long conversation about something, just ask it, straight up. Based on our chat, where are the gaps in my knowledge or my reasoning? And what's amazing is, it acts like this totally impartial, safe critic. It'll point out assumptions you didn't even know you were making or connections that you just flat out missed. It's an unbelievable way to find your own blind spots. So once the AI points out a gap in your knowledge, the next step is pretty obvious, right? You ask it to help you fill it. You can get it to build you a personalized learning plan right there, based on your conversation. It becomes this personal knowledge curator just for you. And this is how you start discovering these amazing concepts you never would have even thought to Google. Like it might introduce you to a concept like costly signaling. This idea from biology that a peacock's tail is an honest signal of its fitness because it's so expensive and hard to fake. And just like that, you're off exploring a whole new area of thought that 5 minutes ago you didn't even know was a thing. All right, so we've covered the big picture strategy, the world building, and this really cool personal growth angle. Now, let's wrap up with a few quick tactical tips. Little things you can do to polish your conversations and just get cleaner, more accurate results every single time. Okay, so what about those weird AI hallucinations where it just makes stuff up? Well, you can actually help reduce those by managing its confidence. Try this. Ask it to give you a confidence score with every answer. But what's really wild is that using emotional language can also help. Because these models were trained on tons of human writing, throwing in a phrase like, "This is very important for my career," actually seems to tap into patterns that make it give a more careful, accurate response. And if you're tired of the AI writing sounding, well, like an AI, you can give it specific style rules to follow. So for instance, as AI writer Blake Stuckton points out, you can tell it to avoid those classic AI sentence structures like X isn't just about Y, and tell it to use direct affirmative sentences instead. It's such a simple tweak, but it makes the writing feel so much more human. But look, if you want a truly, genuinely unique voice, the best source material is you. Just feed the AI a bunch of your own writing from before you started using AI. Could be emails, reports, whatever. And then you tell it, adopt this style, write like me. And that's when you create this incredible partnership where you're merging its massive brain with your authentic voice. So at the end of the day, what are we really doing here? Mastering prompting isn't just about squeezing more productivity out of a machine. It's about using this technology as a mirror for our own minds. It forces you to be clearer in your own thinking, to go right up to the edge of what you know, and ultimately to understand yourself and the world around you just a little bit better. Because the real goal here isn't just to get better answers from an AI, it's to learn how to ask better questions of ourselves.